Hello students, welcome back to Sri Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School YouTube channel. We hope you understand these concepts better by listening to these videos. Our school management is taking steps to upload all contents in all subjects so that students can get the benefit of that. In physics, we are discussing electrostatics, and today we shall discuss part 5. Today we are going to discuss about electric field and conductors. How electric field and electric field is there in just conductors, okay. If you just imagine any conductor, maybe copper or aluminum, Copper, aluminum are examples for conductors, whereas in household electrical wiring we use copper. It's good conductor of electricity. Whereas for the EB department is using aluminum. Whereas the street line it is the conductor is made up of aluminum. Aluminum is also a good conductor of electricity due to cost effective, and for the public use we use aluminum. It is also a good conductor of electricity. Conductors, insulators. In insulators will not allow current to pass through, because in insulators the energy gap between valence band and conduction band is high. In case of semiconductors it lies between conductor and the insulators. There the energy gap between valence band and the conduction band is not zero, whereas in case of conductors it is overlapping. This we will study in detail in a semiconductor lesson. In case of semiconductors, the energy gap is not zero, and at the same time the energy gap between valence band and conduction is not too much like insulators, okay, it is less. Conductors, copper, or if you take copper or aluminum or any conductor, free electrons are there, the electrons are not inside the conductor, the charges are outside, on the surface of the conductor. We cannot say outside the conductor, on the surface of the conductor. So, inside the conductor, as there are no charges inside the conductor, electric field inside the conductor must be 0. Electric flux should also be 0. Let us discuss first what is electric field. Electric field is force experienced by charge. Electric field at a point is force experienced by charge. What is force? You can apply Coulomb's law of electrostatics. We are just recalling the concepts so that you can understand this better. Coulomb's law of force. Force F is equal to, imagine there are two charges. One is Q1, another one is Q2. There are two charges at a distance r. Then Coulomb's law of force F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is permittivity. In case of electric field, it is permittivity. In case of magnetic field, we have permeability, mu naught permeability. This epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. Together 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 power 9. And charges Q1, Q2 by R square, This is Coulomb's law of electrostatics. There will be force of attraction or repulsion between charges. It will be directly proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two charges. Two charges. It is known as inverse square law. Similarly, we can discuss Coulomb's law of magnetism also. Force of attraction or repulsion between two magnetic poles is directly proportional to product of the pole strength, inversely proportional to square of the distance. It is also called inverse square law. Newton's law of gravitation. Force of attraction, we cannot say repulsion, okay? It is always attractive force. Force of attraction between any object or any masses is directly proportional to product of the masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two masses. That is also inverse square law. This is a vector quantity. then we can have r cap here, where r cap is a unit vector. Force is a vector quantity. Electric field is also a vector quantity. Electric field is also a vector quantity. What is electric field? If you just consider one charge here, if you consider a charge here, if you consider a charge q1 there, then the electric field at this point, is the force experienced by unit positive charge, kept at that point. Electric field at this point is force experienced by unit positive charge kept at that point. Then we get electric field equal to force experienced by charge. Electric field equal to force 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1. q1 you take it as, just let it be q1, no issue. q2 is nothing but unit positive charge divided by r square, and again you will have q to be substituted, which is again unit positive charge. We say that electric field at a point is force experienced by unit positive charge. Therefore, again if you substitute here in the denominator the next charge, that becomes 1. Then we have r cap to represent this in vector. Electric field is also a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. Electric field is also a vector quantity. Unit of force is Newton. Here the unit is Newton. In case of electric field, unit is Newton per coulomb and volt per meter There are 2 units we can have. We get this from electric field is force experienced by charge. From this we get Newton per coulomb. For a second case we have electric field is equal to minus dV by dx. Electric field is negative potential gradient. From this we get volt per meter. So this is what electric field and force. Electric flux is nothing but the number of force lines crossing area, perpendicular to that surface. Electric flux is number of force lines crossing perpendicular to the surface. For example, imagine we have electric field here. If the lines are parallel to each other, it means that it's a uniform electric field. In uniform electric field, force lines will be parallel to each other. If we place an object there, then we have to find out angle between normal to the direction of electric field. Then we can calculate flux. Flux pi is equal to closed integral E dA cos theta. Or we can write that flux pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by the surface. Applying Gauss law. Flux pi is equal to closed integral E dA cos theta is electric field. dA, closed integral dA, we are going to get the area. Cos theta, the theta is angle between normal to the surface and direction of electric field. Pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by the surface. There are 2 equations to calculate flux here. Imagine this is electric field direction. Then if you take one small object like this, if you place an object like this, this is normal to the surface. Then theta will become 0. Then we can substitute that and get the value of flux. In case if the object is inclined like this, if object is kept like this, then this is normal to the surface, then this is angle theta between normal to the surface and the electric field. It goes like this is the direction of electric field, this is direction of normal to the surface. Between the two there is theta, that value to be substituted. So electric flux based on the theta value, it can have plus value or minus value because cos theta varies from +1 to -1, isn't it? Therefore, flux value will change from, it may have even positive value, negative value. Okay, that's what. So flux is nothing but number of lines crossing area perpendicular to the electric field, or perpendicular to the surface, that is electric flux. Now, in case of a conductor like this, if you take a conductor, imagine in this case a conductor is kept in external electric field. A conductor is kept in external electric field. There will be electric charges inside, isn't it? As soon as the conductor is kept in external electric field, what happens? The charges in the conductor are getting aligned like this. They are getting aligned like this. This indicates the direction of electric field. This indicates direction of external electric field. You see that arrow mark? Okay. Therefore, this side must be positive and this side must be negative, isn't it? This is the direction of external electric field. And the charges in the conductor, they are getting aligned like this. You see that negative charges are aligned towards positive. Negative charges are aligned towards positive. And positive charges are getting aligned towards negative. Positive charges are getting aligned towards negative. Okay. And this alignment, once it is taken place, where it takes only 10 power minus 16 seconds to form this, that is to come to electrostatic equilibrium. Once it is done, once it is arranged, you can say that it is in electrostatic equilibrium. Electrostatic equilibrium. It is just like thermal equilibrium. What is thermal equilibrium? Let us compare it with thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium. What is thermal equilibrium? In case of thermal equilibrium, what happens if you just imagine an object? If we say that an object is in thermal equilibrium with the surrounding, if we say that if an object is in thermal equilibrium with the surrounding, it means that whatever the amount of heat energy taken by the object, the same amount of heat energy is given to the surrounding. So, we can say that the object is in thermal equilibrium. Just like that, we say that this is in electric equilibrium. We can say that this is electrostatic equilibrium. Electrostatic equilibrium. Once this is aligned, it comes to electrostatic equilibrium. Actually, it takes it's instantaneously, negligible amount of time. The aligning the charges or coming to electrostatic equilibrium, it takes place within seconds, fraction of second, negligible amount of time, instantaneously it takes. You see, it takes place in 10 power minus 16 seconds. Okay. Once it is done, the charges will not move. You see that the arrow mark here indicates that, the arrow mark here in the figure, the arrow mark indicates that you see that the external electric field acting along this direction, and the electric field due to the charges of the conductor, it is in opposite direction. It is in opposite direction. It is in opposite, external, internal, opposite direction, and their magnitude is the same. Magnitude is the same. Then there won't be resultant electric field. Then there won't be resultant electric field. So, electric field inside the conductor is 0, electric field inside the conductor is 0. If you say that the electric field inside the conductor is 0, we can say that the electric flux inside the conductor is also, that is electric flux is also 0, electric flux is also 0. And this picture explains that electric field in a conductor on the surface, charges are there on the surface. Charges, the free electrons are not inside the conductor, they are just on the surface, they are just on the surface. So, if it is on the surface, the picture says that the electric field will be normal to the surface. The electric field will be normal to the surface. Electric field cannot be parallel to the surface. In case if the electric field is parallel to the surface, then what could happen? The charges must get accelerated. In case of the electric field, in case the electric field is parallel to the surface. Okay, you just imagine this is a conductor. Imagine this is a conductor and charges are there. Imagine positive charges. Imagine positive charges there on the surface. In case of the electric field, is here, in case the electric field is acting along this direction, then what could happen? The free electrons or the charges, the free electrons may get accelerated. The charges must move. The charges must be influenced by the external electric field. Okay. Then what could happen? If the charges must move, the charges must start to move, but it's not taking place. Okay, it is against electrostatic equilibrium. Then we say that the electric field will act normal to the surface. In case if it is parallel, the electric field is parallel, then what should happen? The charges must start to move. The charges must start moving. It is not taking place. Therefore, electric field will act normal to the surface. Electric field will act normal to the surface. That's what we understand from this. And if we coming to this picture, we are going to prove that electric field inside the conductor, is 0, electric field inside the conductor is 0 by applying Gauss law, Gauss law says that total flux over any closed surface is equal to pi equal to closed integral E ds cos theta. Pi is equal to closed integral E dA or E ds cos theta. And also we have flux pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times charge enclosed by the surface. Charge enclosed by the surface. If you imagine a conductor, you just imagine like this. This is okay. Imagine this must be a conductor of electricity. Imagine a conductor like this. If it is kept, then what will happen? The free electrons will be on the surface. Free electrons will be on the surface. Inside the conductor, there won't be charge. Inside the conductor, there won't be any charge. That's what it says. So no electric field inside the conductor. There will be no electric field inside the conductor because there is no charge inside the conductor. If you apply this, if you are applying this, the first equation, if you apply first equation, pi is equal to closed integral E dA cos theta. If you are applying this, okay, electric field E, closed integral dA, we are going to get some area. Theta at different places, it varies, you just take it as 1. You just take it as 1 in this case. EA, that is equal to charge enclosed by the surface, then E is equal to, Q, what is Q? Q is charge enclosed by the surface. There is no charge inside the conductor, the charges are only on the surface, there are no charges inside the conductor. Here there are no charges are not there inside. Then Q is 0, charge enclosed by the surface, is 0, then we can say that as this term becomes 0, as Q is equal to 0, electric field is also 0, since Q is equal to 0. As charge enclosed by the surface is 0, electric field must be 0, electric field inside the conductor must be 0. But electric field is there on the surface, and electric field is normal to the surface, That is what we understand from this picture. Now next let us come to this. The same, actually we are applying the same Gauss law. It is just like one of the applications of Gauss law. Okay, previously we discussed, let's recall the previous concept to understand this better. Previously we discussed this concept, hope you remember this, when there was only one plate where it is, imagine it is being uniformly charged, okay. Then we just imagine a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is imaginary surface. Now due to this positive, electric field at this point will be along this direction. Here also electric field will be along this direction, Here also electric field will be along this direction, okay, on the Gaussian surface. Whereas here, imagine it is like a cylinder, At these points, this is normal to the surface, this is direction of electric field, then theta is equal to 90 degree there. Cos 90 is 0, So these portions are not going to contribute for the electric field, only this. Here, this is normal to the surface, then theta is equal to 0, cos 0 is 1, Now apply Gauss law. Gauss law says that flux pi is equal to closed integral E dA cos theta, pi is equal to closed integral E dA cos theta. Then we can write that it is E into A, total area. Okay, if you are integrating this small area to the entire plate, we are going to get total area of the plate. So that's E, area. E is electric field, there. So we are getting EA. And we can find out here, due to P and due to P dash, there are 2 points we can consider on either side of the conductor. P and P dash. Then it gets EA plus EA, because there are 2 points on either side of the conductor. That is equal to total charge enclosed by the surface, 1 by epsilon naught times. So what we got, that 2EA is equal to sigma into A by epsilon naught, then we get electric field is equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught, this is what we got. This we discussed in applications of Gauss law. Similar to this we are going to discuss here, Here, this is a conductor, where charges are on the surface, we are imagining a Gaussian surface, in the form of a cylinder, where portion of the Gaussian surface cylinder is outside the conductor, where portion of the Gaussian surface is inside the conductor. We are imagining like this. Okay, for example, you just imagine this is the surface. Imagine this is the surface here. Okay, and Gaussian surface to be imagined like this. The Gaussian surface to be imagined like this. Whereas portion of the Gaussian surface is outside the conductor. Portion of the Gaussian surface is outside the conductor like this. Okay, like this. Portion of the Gaussian surface is outside the conductor. Whereas here in the previous discussion, it is the Gaussian surface is on either side. The Gaussian surface is on the either side. Whereas in this discussion, this is a conductor, whereas the Gaussian surface is only on one side. The other side of the Gaussian surface is inside the conductor, not outside the conductor. Imagine this is the surface. We are imagining a Gaussian surface here. The Gaussian surface is, half of the Gaussian surface is outside the conductor like this, whereas second portion, next to half of the Gaussian surface is inside the conductor. Next part is inside the conductor. It is not at the back side. It is not at the back side like this. Okay, that's what you should know. Actually, it is like this. It's only one side. Okay, that's what we should keep it in mind to discuss this. So the surface is imagined like this. So we are considering only one side of the Gaussian surface. Okay, imagine like this, and the second part is inside the conductor. Not like previous case. So in that case, we are going to get only this. This is not there. It is inside. Inside there is no electric field. Therefore, this term gets cancelled. Then we will have only EA. Then we are going to have only E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Okay, that's what the Gaussian surface we are imagining. Portion of the Gaussian surface is outside the conductor. Portion of the Gaussian surface is inside the conductor, not at the back side, not on the other side of the conductor. It is inside the conductor. Inside the conductor, electric field is 0. Inside the conductor, electric flux is 0. So, whereas for the second part, this term becomes 0 because E is equal to 0, then we get only EA. That is equal to Q by epsilon naught times, that is sigma into A, that is equal to electric field equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So, we can say that electric field E is equal to sigma divided by epsilon naught. Outside the conductor, not inside the conductor, outside the conductor. And to represent in vector, E vector equal to sigma by epsilon naught n cap. E vector equal to sigma by epsilon naught into n cap. We can write like this. So, this is about electric field on conductors. Now, let us go to next concept. This is about electrostatic shielding. You know what is shielding, isn't it? Even in the war, people use shielding. Shielding means something to protect, isn't it? So, here electrostatic shielding. We can protect ourselves from charges. Devices which should be safe, which should be away from the electric charges can be protected using this electrostatic shielding device. You see that this is a surface. Imagine a surface like this. Okay, like this. Imagine a surface like this. The charges are on the surface. And the electric field is normal to the surface. Electric field is at this point, electric field will be along this direction, which is in the normal direction. At this point, the electric field will be along this direction, which is normal to that point, So, like this, wherever we check, the electric field will be normal to that point, normal to that surface at that point. You just imagine a small portion inside the conductor anywhere like this, inside, Already we discussed that electric field inside the surface, is 0, inside the conductor is 0 because charges are only on the surface, therefore iside the conductor electric field is 0 and also flux is also 0 and flux is also, because electric field is 0, therefore flux must be 0, isn't it? Flux exists only when there is field. It is applicable for both electric field and magnetic field. The magnetic field also there is force lines. Actually these force lines are imaginary lines. Okay, in magnetic field also there are force lines starting from north to ending at south. In case of electric field, force line starts at a positive charge, terminate at in case of electric field, force line starts at north. In case of electric field, force line starts at positive and terminate at negative. In case of magnetic field, force line starts at north pole and terminate at south pole. So electric field is 0, therefore magnetic field must flux should also be 0, pi must also be 0. So if you are keeping any electrical device which to be protected, if any electrical device to be protected here, okay, then it will be safe. It is not going to be influenced by, it is not going to be affected by electric field, okay. Then we say, so we say that this electrostatic shielding, even if you are inside, even if I am standing inside, I am not going to be influenced by the external electric field. So we say this process is electrostatic shielding, That's why we say that in when we are traveling in a bus, when we are traveling in a, imagine we are traveling in a bus or in a car. When we are traveling in a bus or in a car, if the passengers are sitting inside, if you are inside the bus, when there is lightning and thunder, okay, we see the flash in it. From the clouds we get charges, electrostatic induction takes place there, we get a sudden flash, okay, we are going to learn about it in forthcoming topics. Lightning, okay, and then thunder is sound, and lightning is a flash. When this takes place, we see the flash and immediately we rush inside the house, inside our home, isn't it, to protect ourselves. We see the flash and after some time only we get the sound, huge sound there, thunder, okay. Actually both are taking place at the same time, we see the flash first and then after a few seconds, after some time gap only we hear the sound. It's because velocity of sound and light differs. Velocity of light is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, Velocity of sound is around 340 meter per second, So there is huge difference between velocity of sound and light. So we see the flash first and then we get the sound. So when there is lightning, if lightning strikes a bus, you see that the metal body, the bus is made up of some metal, isn't it? The body is made up of metal. So what will happen? The charges will go on the surface. The charges will just go on the surface and it gets leaked to the atmosphere. So the passengers inside the bus will be protected. So we can compare this with electrostatic shielding. Whether it is a bus or even a car, we can be inside, but we will be safe due to electrostatic shielding. And this concept is known as Faraday's cage. This is known as Faraday's cage. This is called Faraday's cage. Hope you know what is a cage, isn't it? Parrot cage. Parrot and the cage. There is a parrot and the cage experiment for persistence of vision. For persistence of vision, there is an activity called parrot and cage. Take a chart like this, okay, a small chart like this, and draw a bird, just like a parrot. Draw a bird, okay, and you just rotate it, okay, you just rotate it like this at fast. When it is rotating, this is one side, on the other side of the chart, you just draw cage, just to draw cage like this. In one side of the chart you draw bird, parrot, and the other side you draw cage. Okay, when we just rotate it at eye speed, then what happens? It looks like the parrot is inside the cage. It is due to persistence of vision. Okay, so this is also a cage. This also, you see that it's made up of gauze. Okay, metallic gas, metal is a conductor, it's a conductor. If we create a spark like this, spark can be created by developing some high potential difference between the two. If a spark is created, just like lightning, a spark is created between the two when current is passed from one conductor to this conductor, where this is a cage made up of maybe iron or aluminum. This is a conductor. Okay, when a person is standing, even if somebody is standing inside, the person is not going to get electrocuted. It's not going to take place. There will be no electric shock for the person who is standing inside. This is fully made up of, imagine this made up of iron, imagine it's made up of iron. There is current, like just like lightning, spark is getting connected to this. Then charge will flow through the outer layer, outer conductor of the surface. Even when somebody is inside, even if I stand inside, we are not going to get electrocuted. But there is only one condition, that we have to stand on an insulator. We should not have physical contact with this. We should not have physical contact with the cage. We should not have any direct physical contact with the cage. We have to stand on an insulator. Then nothing will happen for the person who is inside due to electrostatic shielding. Even though charges are flowing on the outer surface, it will just go off to the atmosphere. It gets leaked to the atmosphere due to corona discharge. So we will be safe. This is called Faraday's cage. Faraday, F-A-R-A-D-A-Y, Faraday's cage. Beautiful videos are there in YouTube. You can just watch that. Okay, there is live videos are there. You can just watch in YouTube. Faraday's cage activity YouTube videos are there in the YouTube. So in Faraday's cage, people are safe because of electrostatic shielding. If you are traveling in a bus and if we can just be inside when there is lightning, we are not going to be affected. Due to electrostatic shielding. So students, today we just discussed about electric field and conductors, electrostatic shielding. We hope this class would help you to understand the concept better. You can revise the concept, you can listen to the teaching, you can watch the video whenever you find time. We hope this will help you to understand the concepts better. Our school, Sri Vidya Lakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, is taking steps to upload all the concepts on YouTube. Students, நீங்கள் டைம் கிடைக்கும்போதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் பார்க்கலாம் இந்த கான்செப்ட் வீடியோஸை. whenever you find time you can watch. ஓகே, நீங்கள் டைம் கிடைக்கும்போது பார்க்கலாம். and we expect your feedback. ஓகே, நீங்கள் இந்த வீடியோ லெக்சர் எதனா மிஸ்டேக் இருந்தால் கூட நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள். even if there is any mistake, you please tell us. we want to improve ourselves. we want to correct our mistake. we are ready for that. Okay, positive comments கொடுங்க, இல்லை negative comments, whatever you feel. let it be genuine. we need your feedback to improve ourselves. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.